Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. I'd like to welcome you, dear viewers, to another episode in our series, In the Light of Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah's peace and blessings be on each and every one of you. As you know, our program seeks to answer the questions of our viewers. Those who have been watching the program over the years have written in, faxed in, called in, emailed in their questions. We've tried to answer them. This is a service which has been provided, for the public by the recommendation of the ruler of Sharjah himself. We'd like to thank him for being so concerned about making Islam available, Islamic solutions available to the population of the Emirates. And we'd like to thank Sharjah Television also for giving us this opportunity. We're looking at some questions now which have come in from lectures. First question, is it permissible, it's a woman's type question, is it permissible for a woman to wear cosmetics or colored contact lenses in public while she is also veiling her face, except for the eyes? Or is she only allowed to wear them to please her husband in privacy? Well, his first question deals with the issue of a woman beautifying herself, whether it is cosmetics or colored contact lenses. To do so, of course, in public means you're doing so and drawing attention to oneself. And of course, Islamically, this is not acceptable. A woman is supposed to be covering, to downplay her beauty, not to enhance her beauty and invite stares and attention, etc. So we'd say in public, this is not permissible. In privacy for her husband, yes, she may do so. Now, colored contact lenses, we have to question, what is behind that? What is behind that? Colored contact lenses. One is doing so, again, you're not happy with your eye color. You'd like to change the color of your eyes. Allah has given you brown eyes, but you want to have blue eyes. Well, Islamically speaking, we'd say this is something objectionable. It's better to avoid this. In terms of cosmetics, covering blemishes or whatever for one's husband, in privacy, it's perfectly okay. A woman covering her face, with the exception of her eyes, and then using eyeliner and all these other things to beautify her eyes, again, this would be considered unacceptable Islamically. In public. In privacy, in the privacy of her home, it's okay. Can women grow their nails? Can they wear jeans, shirts, t-shirts, or skirts and blouses? Well, growing their nails, if growing their nails means not clipping their nails at all, then of course this is wrong Islamically. Prophet Muhammad had said that there are a group of things which are from the fitrah, from the natural way of the believer, of the Muslim. Among them, he said, clipping the fingernails and the toenails. So this is something traditionally Muslims do it every Friday. It could be more often if your nails go faster. And the maximum it would go, as the companions had mentioned, was 40 days. If they would make sure it would never go beyond that. That's a month and 10 days without clipping. This is like the maximum they would go. Otherwise, it's preferable to do so every Friday, keeping the nails trim, short. And this is also very hygienic. People who are involved in operations, the doctors, even though they're wearing gloves and everything else, they clip their fingernails, trim them, because it's an area where germs, dirt, etc. can be caught. Even though they may appear clean, it can easily hold germs, etc. So it has hygienic value. The other thing about wearing jeans, well, it depends. If you're talking about wearing them outside the home, without wearing outer garments, whether they're wearing jeans, t-shirts, or shirts, skirts, and blouses, these things, outside the home without outer garments, of course, is not acceptable. If one has an outer garment which doesn't show the inner dress, then it is permissible. In the case of jeans, these tight jeans are harmful. Medically, they've been shown to cause problems for women. We should be aware of that. And otherwise, the jeans, if they are cut in men's styles, is also forbidden. Otherwise, shirts, skirts, blouses, these are fine when worn in the home, not in the presence of those who one may marry, like cousins and uncles and things like this, but people who are, uncles, meaning the husbands married to our aunts who are the sisters of our fathers or mothers. There are people who are not from what we call our maharim. These people, you cannot dress in this fashion in front of them. Okay, we have a question. What about insurance? Is it haram? Now, the issue of insurance, from Islamic perspective, if insurance is not from an Islamic bank or Islamic insurance company, then it's going to be following principles which are classified as haram. Insurance. Okay, we're in a society where, or in societies today, the laws require us to have insurance to drive our cars, etc., etc. In such cases, where car is a necessity, then one takes the lowest form, the third party, the one which covers damage to other cars, but we have to handle our own problems. So we minimize dealing with it. Another question concerning women's ornaments, it is prohibited for a woman to wear paziv and pael, and this refers to ankle ornaments, the ornaments around the ankles worn sometimes with bells or made out of silver and gold, things like this. Ankle bracelets, we may call them, or anklets, a variety of different names for it. This is permissible in the home or where one's garment covers it. But for a woman to go outside of the home with these ornamentations on her feet, and she's not covering her feet, she's calling attention to her feet. And really, according to Islamic law, when the woman leaves her home, nothing should be seen of her, based on the position that covering the face is not compulsory, besides her face and hands to the wrist and the face. Her feet should be covered by her outer garment or by her shoes or with socks or whatever. She should not be exposing her feet, and especially these ankle bracelets, etc., which would call attention to her, this is part of her beauty. Another question, dear Dr. Bilal, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Are Islamic nasheeds sung by males with the backing of the duff permissible? Basically, this would be permissible in times of Eid and marriages, these celebrations. It's permissible. It's also permissible if it is with female voices, children who are not baligh, they have not reached puberty, young males or females, it's possible also. What about incidental music, for example, in children's computer software, educational software? Of course, that music, where it is instrumental and whether it's produced by a computer or not, but it's still imitating the instrumental musical sounds, this is forbidden, we know this, according to Islam. But now, in cases where a person gets educational software, the software is teaching somebody something, and then you have what the writer refers to as incidental music. It's music that pops up from time to time or in the background. If it can be turned down, the sound can be turned down, the program carries on, then you try to turn it down. Otherwise, the program goes on. It is something beneficial, something necessary. You don't have any other way of getting this information across to them. Then, you ask Allah's forgiveness for it and carry on. Use programs, educational documentaries nowadays